here's your host, Alex Garrett.
All right, well, as you might know by now, I have turned 32, and to those of you wishing my personal page a very happy birthday, thank you so much. My girlfriend here has made it a great one, Gabriella, and as has my on-air radio family. But before we get to the media highlights of this birthday weekend, I just want to say thank you to a few very important people to make getting to 32 possible. And of course it starts with my mom, who literally gave birth and has been a dedicated mother forever and will continue to be. And I just hope and pray that I've been as dedicated a son to her as I could be. And I love her very much. And of course she's carried me now to 32. And we've both struggled with the loss of my dad. But of course, he's another reason why I'm here at 32. While he has unfortunately left us, the indelible impact will never be forgotten, will never be replaced, will never be duplicated ever again. My father was, as one of my friends, Billy Cannell, would say, an institution. He was always there. He even took me to the NICU every year to say thank you to the hardworking nurses and doctors. We'll get to that a little bit later in this episode of the Roosevelt St. Luke's System NICU. And the two of them started the journey out 32 years ago of parenthood in very unusual circumstances. But because both of them have taught me in their own ways, have guided me in their own ways, have loved me unconditionally in their own ways, we're here. We're here 32 years later. And how can I forget my stepdad, Vic? Vic's first real impact on my family was actually my, I believe, 7th birthday. My grandmother's stove was not working the day of my birthday party. And Vic came in and said, I'm going to fix it. And as he likes to say, he feels like he had forehead written all over, son-in-law written all over his forehead as far as my grandmother was concerned, because my very first, or his very first birthday celebration with, for me and with my family, he already went to work fixing things, and he has been that steady, stable father. He's been that steady, stable husband to my mom. And it all started on my 7th birthday. A little before that, but that was when he really was welcomed into the family, and he's been with us ever since. And of course, he's a big reason why. Because I was thinking about this yesterday. Who made the runs for Alimentum when I needed them the most during those, early years? My stepdad, Vic. Who would get us to the hospital almost every time we needed it? Well, when he came into my life, Vic was always there to get us to and from, to make sure we got the proper medical care. Who was there to literally put a roof over our head the last 20 plus years? My stepdad, Vic. And so, and his lessons. I mean, the biggest advice, and I continue to take his advice, but the biggest thing that's ever gotten me the last 12, 14 years into adulthood and beyond is the fact that he said, you should go to Queens College. And boom, took his advice, made it happen. And that wisdom he shares year in and year out sticks with me. And he's been as much of a presence in my life and deserves as much praise for getting us to another year around the sun, as they say. So thank you, Mom, Pops, we miss you, and Dad, Vic, love you so much. And how can I forget? We'll talk a little more about that later in the show with Gabby and I, but how can I forget? My partner in crime, in the last 5 years, though on and off, but, she's been there. She's helped me get to this point as well, because I think Gabby knows it as well as anybody. And so while we're out here adventuring and taking care of each other and supporting each other, we have each other's backs in the health department. And Gabby is a huge reason why we're able to celebrate 32 this birthday weekend, because she's done as much as anybody to keep me on my toes and help me stay healthy. And you'll find out later in this episode how much I truly love this woman. I mean, it's to the point of a very special announcement that I want to break to you on the One Leg Up with Alex Garrett podcast. But I do love her so much. And she's in the circle of trust, if you will, as they would say in Meet the Parents. Circle of trust. And I love Gabby so much. I admit, could be doing a little better in the self-care department. But to have this supportive team and family and the guidance from my grandmother and her wisdom for all these years, it sticks with you. And it's definitely stuck with me. And this is 32 years in the making. One radio colleague, Lou Terminello Seiki, here I'm often, tipped me off to this part of The Other Side of Midnight with Frank Morano.
This is The Other Side of Midnight. We're going to do 15 seconds of fame in a moment. Those of you that have called in on free will, we're going to try and get to one or two more calls real quick before we do 15 seconds, since you guys have been patient enough to hold. I want to wish a happy birthday to my friend Alex Garrett. Alex Garrett is a great guy who I've known for about a decade, and he works at another radio station, but he's really progressed so much, and he's been one of the producers of the Cats Roundtable that a lot of you hear on Sundays, and a great guy. I was just a guest on his podcast, and if you want, I linked to it on my Facebook page, facebook.com/MoranoFan, facebook.com/MoranoFan. Let me tell you about Alex. Alex is celebrating his birthday today. I hope all his wishes come true. Alex was born with one leg. And he gets around town better than I do on a rollerblade. Goes everywhere on town on a rollerblade. And here's a guy who has had, a significant disadvantage dealt to him. He's not able to do a lot of the things that people with two legs can do. And in the decade or so that I've known him, maybe 12 years that I've known him, I have not known him to feel bad for himself once. And he's a wonderful guy, and I hope he has a happy birthday and that all his wishes come true today and always.
And very, very special little shout out there. Thank you, Frank, for including me on your nationally syndicated WABC radio show. That is cool. And then last night we had a jazz singer, great singer, Vanessa Racci, on the Arthur Idella Power Hour. And for the second year in a row, by the way, I've gotten to engineer Arthur's show and help him and Joni Pelzer out. And Arthur had this request of our guest, Vanessa Racci.
So can I get maybe one or two bars of a happy birthday for our producer, for our engineer today, Alex Garrett?
Absolutely, yeah.
You can do it in Italian or English. Do it the Italian way. The Italian way is more fun.
It's Italian Heritage Month. So wait, what's his name? Sorry?
Alex. Alex, say
Alex.
hello.
Hello,
Alex, say
Vanessa,
hello.
again. Yes, this is my birthday today.
Is it a big one?
It's 32, which is every birthday after being a NICU baby for 77 days is a big birthday. So.
Oh, amazing. Well, auguri to you. And now I'm going to sing to you in Italian. Here we go. Buon compleanno a te. Buon compleanno a te. Buon compleanno a Alex. Buon compleanno a te.
Thank you so much. That is
Bravo.
awesome.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Have
Vanessa
a wonderful
Racci.
birthday, Alex.
And then also, I did get to visit the NICU, the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, up at now Mount Sinai West, formerly St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital. And obviously not having my dad here for my birthday has been very tough and very emotional, but I did get to place him on the grounds where he became a father yesterday, spraying a few of his ashes outside the hospital where I was born. And then the remaining active doctor, Dr. Calabio, brought me upstairs to the NICU for year 32, a tradition my dad and my mom and I had for so many years. And that, that personal relationship with those childhood doctors could continue on in adulthood. Believe me, my childhood surgeon and Dr. Calabio have helped me figure out what's been going on with my body as I've been growing up, as the scar on my stomach has been kind of leaking, if I may say. And they've both been a great help to figure out what's been up with that 32 years later. But it was special to go up to the NICU. And then, of course, it's probably been announced, you probably heard it on the radio if you're listening to AM 970 The Answer constantly. But yes, Nick DeMoro Sr. and Jr. and world, Gabriella and I are engaged. And that's kind of the biggest birthday gift I could have coming into our ending year 31 and coming into year 32. And may this engagement be prosperous and healthy and godly and loving toward each other and forevermore. And yes, there will be a wedding. We don't know when, but stay tuned for this podcast. But yes, an engagement has been had. We are going to make that announcement right here on the Alex Garrett Podcast Network. But here is the reveal on AM 970 The Answer earlier today.
I have to put out a big shout out to Alex because the rumor mill has him just currently engaged to the beautiful Gabriella Pisani.
This is not wrong, Nick. So thank you. We're breaking that news here.
That's right. I appreciate the honor of hitting it on the air. So congratulations, you two lovebirds.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So we can't wait for the big days.
Of course, the DeMoros have been becoming not just radio colleagues, but friends off the air as well. And they've had us at the Lead Fest the last couple of years. So for this announcement to come on their show is pretty special. And yeah, if you have any thoughts on all of this, shoot me an email at alex@alexgnyc.com. And when I visited Dr. Calabio yesterday at the NICU, I gotta say, I felt very fortunate that I had the health care that I needed to thrive and survive those 77 days in the NICU and beyond. And it just brought me to this idea that why isn't there a better healthcare system in America? Why is it that pushes to get drug prices lower always seem to fall short and never really feel accomplished? Why do politicians who say they're out for our well-being actually in the pockets of big pharma at the same time? Now, I know it's birthday weekend and maybe not the time to get political, but it just made me think how this healthcare system needs to totally be shaken up so that NICU babies and moms-to-be and even fathers-to-be and those in general deserve to have that same care that was extended to my family and I. And I want your ideas on how to improve our healthcare system on alex@alexgnyc.com. I found a mission yesterday to figure out ways that our healthcare system could be better, could be more inclusive. I know it's controversial because you're going to say, well, immigrants already get a lot of healthcare treatments more so than Americans. And I just believe Americans and those that come here looking for a better life should have the equal access to health care. Americans don't even have good access to health care. That should change too. That should change too. And it's up to us to vote people in who don't have the pockets lined by the big pharma, if you will. Big pharma doesn't understand the lengths that these doctors, these nurses, the NICU nurses went to and go to day after day. So while we may be frustrated with our own healthcare at times as we get into adulthood, maybe we should target the healthcare system's massive costs and not the doctor who's willing to spend time with us day after day. And yeah, there's the trope of the 8-minute doctor that just comes in and sees you for 8 minutes and then leaves and has you pay the bill. But then he's not the right doctor or she's not the right doctor. Find that doctor who will literally sit with you and look at the images of your body, like I've had the fortune of, and spend an hour with you. Those are the types of doctors you want to be around. Those doctors exist. Those nurses exist. So if you have a doctor that's in there for 8 minutes with you, you're at the wrong place, pal. Find the right doctors. They're out there. And I am living proof.